we'll see where it goes.
Stand by, Jeffrey. We do have breaking news just into CNN. The Supreme Court has just issued, and this is the decision many were waiting for, a ruling in Dobbs versus Jackson Women's Health Organization. This, the major case regarding abortion rights in this country.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, was I right? Was I right just 2 days ago? The Supreme Court arguably is the most important institution in this country right now, and that is why the leftists are trying to tear it down, right? It's only a matter of time before they start to call Clarence Thomas the N-word, right? I'm telling you, that's how pissed off they are. When I said that the left, the Democrats, the liberals, right, the so-called race crusaders were going to get so upset with the Supreme Court, mainly Clarence Thomas, that they would start calling him the N-word, okay? And lo and behold, that is what happened yesterday after the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade. And Clarence Thomas indicated that the court wasn't just coming for Roe, they were also coming for other things that the left likes, okay? Maybe potentially gay marriage, maybe potentially some other things too. We'll see, okay? He said we should reconsider those precedents, right? Now, will the whole court go along with it? I'm not necessarily sure, but Clarence Thomas is, in fact, the most conservative justice on the court, or so it seems. And the guy's not playing around, right? He ain't playing around. He coming for everybody's neck, mainly Joe Biden's neck, right? He came to take his revenge on Joe.
I just want to make sure we all know what we're talking about here, that you and I know at least what we're talking about here. Now, again, that may be lost on all the people. You know and I know what we're talking about. Or you may, like many argue, not apply it at all. But it is a fundamental question that is going to be almost impossible for non-lawyers to grasp in an exchange. But you know and I know it is a big, big deal. And in conclusion,
one of the things you do in hearings is you have to sit there and look attentively at people you know have no idea what they're talking about. And it was fine. I understood what he was trying to do. I didn't really appreciate it.
Bruh, if anybody ever listens to Clarence Thomas talk for an extended amount of time, okay, about anything, basically, how can you not like the guy, right? The guy is an absolutely hilarious person. But the Democrat Party, mainly the black liberals in the party that are being controlled and led and brainwashed by the white liberals, made Clarence Thomas out to be what they call Uncle Tom, right? A C word, a sellout, simply because he has conservative opinions, right? But would you actually read his opinions? His opinions are basically grounded in, some of them, at least a few of them, particularly, when it comes to this whole abortion thing, and, when it comes to the Second Amendment, they're grounded in the history behind how, for example, gun control has historically been racist, right? For example, in the most recent Second Amendment ruling, right, involving concealed carry in New York, Clarence Thomas wrote in his opinion, he referenced Dred Scott versus Sanford of 1857, which was probably one of the worst Supreme Court decisions in history, okay, in which they ruled that African Americans or descendants of slaves were in fact not American citizens, right? And Clarence Thomas wrote, like an OG here, he went ham on this. He talked about how Chief Justice Taney at the time offered what he thought was a parade of horribles that would result from recognizing free blacks as citizens of the United States, including that they will be entitled to keep and carry arms wherever they want, right? Basically saying that if black people were citizens, then they would have the right to carry arms, public carry, right? They would have the right to carry arms out in public, simply because that is a right that is recognized under the Constitution in the Second Amendment, right? Again, this is some savage stuff, right? This is savage as hell, because Democrats read stuff like this and look at stuff like this and like, what is your response, right? What is your response? You can't respond to it. The guy routinely uses the systemic and historical discrimination that has been against black people in this country, what the left always talks about, right? He routinely uses that as a way to issue opinions today that aligns with conservatives, right? Again, ain't it funny how that works, right? People's mind gets blown by Clarence Thomas, and that is, in fact, why Clarence Thomas and so-called people of color, minority conservatives, are liberals' worst nightmares, okay? Because they don't have an answer for him, okay? And this is why they've resulted to calling the man an N-word and racist slurs, right? Because the fact of the matter is, all Clarence Thomas is doing is just referencing the old Democrat Party, or really still the current Democrat Party. They just replaced their KKK hoods with pride flags and BLM flags. They're still the same party. They claim they're not, but they actually really are. And you see that when you have minorities that don't agree with them, when minorities don't go along with Democrat policies or liberal ideology. Again, the KKK hood comes back out, right? The Confederate flags come back out.
You overturned Roe versus Wade, and the leader of the pack, Clarence Thomas, you handsy, good-for-nothing, sexual harassing motherfucker, you creep. You creep. If you had gotten what you want from Anita Hill with your overtures and your sexual advancements, and you had somehow, some way impregnated her, right? Being married and all that, right? Mr. Judge, Mr. Supreme Court Judge. If you had impregnated an Anita Hill, what would you have done with that baby? You'd have paid for the abortion and you'd have paid the hush money because you're a creep sucker, you. Clarence. Pubic hair Clarence, you freak. You freaky little horny old dirty breath. I know your breath smells like old coffee, newspaper, and stale Band-Aids, you creepy kook, you.
Yeah, so that is white liberal, a washed up actor, Michael Rappaport, calling Clarence Thomas pubic hair Clarence, right? Pubic hair Clarence. Where do you think he get that from, guys? What do you think he's talking about? He's talking about Clarence Thomas's hair texture as a black man, his black hair texture. That's what he's saying. He's saying it's like pubic hair. Again, now, I'm not one of these people that'll pull the race card when people just say any old thing. But that to me, right there, it sounds like an overtly racist insult, right? That Clarence Thomas's hair is akin to pubic hair because, he has the hair texture of a black man, right? I've heard that before. Again, these guys, the KKK hoods come on, the Confederate flags come out as soon as a black person does not agree with their opinions. And you're seeing it unfold right in front of us, right? This is exactly why Malcolm X was right. He was 100% spot on about the so-called white liberals.
The liberal is more deceitful, more hypocritical than the conservative. Both want power, but the white liberal is the one who has perfected the art of posing as the Negro's friend and benefactor. And by winning the friendship and support of the Negro, the white liberal is able to use the Negro as a pawn or a weapon in this political football game that is constantly raging between the white liberals and the white conservatives. The American Negro is nothing but a political football, and the white liberals control this ball through tricks or tokenism, false promises of integration and civil rights. In this game of deceiving and using the American Negro, the white liberals have complete cooperation of the Negro civil rights leader, who sell our people out for a few crumbs of token recognition, token gains, token progress.
Facts. Facts. Those words are so true. Even in 2022, so true. It's right there on display, guys. Look at how these people treat Clarence Thomas simply because he disagrees with them. Look how they come out the woodwork and not only just attack him because he disagrees with them, but they don't even just focus on the disagreement in and of itself, the ideological disagreement. They focus on his race. They say exactly what they've been thinking the whole time, but they really don't want to say because they know how racist it sounds. But lo and behold, they can't help themselves. They can't hold back the Dixiecrats, right, in their party anymore when Clarence Thomas comes out here and basically destroys them on what I feel to be a white liberal issue, which is abortion, right? It really is, because being pro-life is the most pro-black position you can have in this country, especially considering how our population simply has not grown from a percentage standpoint for a long, long, long time. Okay, we got all the other races basically outpacing us, and you know, people sitting here talking about how you against black people if you are pro-life. That's ridiculous, right? Again, the most pro-black position you can have is for more black folks to produce, okay, to multiply. And consider how black women disproportionately make up most of the abortions in this country. Again, how in the world can you call somebody like Clarence Thomas a sellout? How you can call him an Uncle Tom? How can you call him a C-word? How can you call him that as a black person? How can you call him that when this man has clearly always been on the side of black folks? He just hasn't been on the side of Democrats. But because black people, black liberals in this country have been fooled into thinking that pro-Democrat equals pro-black, this is what you get. This is what you get. And this is why what you're seeing right now is the fault of the black liberal. I blame black liberals for enabling white liberals to insult Clarence Thomas with racial slurs. I blame them because they made it okay. Because every time a black person comes out here that's a conservative and doesn't agree with Democrats, the black liberals come out here and say, well, they're a sellout. They're a Tom. They're a racial slur. Right? So again, if you're a white liberal and you see black liberals using racist slurs against black conservatives, against black folks who don't agree with the Democrat Party, yeah, you think that it's open season on black conservatives. They did the same thing with Tim Scott. They called Tim Scott an Oreo. A Democrat. So he an Oreo. He an Oreo. Again, why do you think he felt comfortable saying that? Because he heard and saw a whole bunch of black liberals saying the same stuff. And he said, oh, if they say that, then I can say it. Right? Again, black liberals are at fault for the racist slurs being thrown at Clarence Thomas, the treatment of Clarence Thomas, the treatment of black conservatives in this country in general. Because they enable it. They support it. But ultimately, in the day, only thing they're supporting is the Democrat Party. They're not supporting themselves. They're not supporting things that are actually better for them. They're not. They're not. So, hey, once again, the Democrats are proving what I've been telling you guys the whole time, is that they actually really are the party of Jim Crow. They're the party of slavery. They're the party of the Dixiecrats. It doesn't seem like the parties actually flipped the way that they continue to claim, because, again, when a black conservative disagrees with them, the KKK hoods come back out, right? And we see exactly who they are today and exactly who they've been historically. Nothing's changed. They just replaced a lot of those symbols with the BLM flag, the pride flag, a bunch of things to distract from the fact that, yes, this is still the party of the old Dixiecrats, right? The same people that try to filibuster the Civil Rights Act, right? The same people that instituted slavery, the same people that instituted Jim Crow. These are the same individuals, guys. Nothing's changed. They're just better at hiding it. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a black conservative perspective. Peace.